Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 16, Text 18, in the matter of praise of King Prithu by the professional reciters. Dehinam Atmavat Prishtaha Suhurdam Nandivardhanaha Mukta Sangha Prasangoyam Dandapani Rasadhusu. Translation purport. By His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanarvinda Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The king will consider all embodied living entities as dear as his own self. And he will always be increasing the pleasures of his friends. He will intimately associate with liberated persons. And he will be chastising hand to all impious persons. Purport. The word Dehinam refers to those who are embodied. The living entities are embodied in different forms, which number 8.4 million species. All of these were treated by the king in the same way as he would treat himself. In this age, however, so-called kings and presidents do not treat all their living entities as their own self. Most of them are meat-eaters. And even though they may not be meat-eaters and may pose themselves to be very religious and pious, they still allow cow slaughter within their state. Such sinful heads of state cannot actually be popular at any time. Another significant word in this verse is Mukta Sangha Prasangaha, which indicates that the king may always associate with liberated persons. Bhagavatam is a history, not exactly in a chronological order, but an history of 10 different subjects. Bhagavatam subject matter. One of the subject matter is Ishanukataha. Stories about the Leelas of the Lord. Prithu being a Saktyavesh Avatara, as good as a Lord and an ideal king. Very significantly, we see he was not an ordinary person. He was made to take birth from the body of Veena. Many people have this birth in such very special manner, coming out of the fire, coming out of the ears, Gomukha, being born with certain ayudas like Kripacharya's father, Sharadwan. He was born with an arrow in his hand. So all those very unusual birth kinds of forms, origins we see in Bhagavatam. These are all facts, these are all history. They may have symbolic references, but they are not just symbolic, they are actual facts. We do not know how to create living entities or human body from other thing other than the method of conception. But among the different kinds of living entities born from different usual sources, water, sweat, womb, egg. Right? These are the normal 4 forms of birth. But birth from these different things, other than these things, are also mentioned in Bhagavatam. So Prithu Maharaj is one such personality. You had even Draupadi coming out of fire. Right? Drupada. What is his brother's name? Drishtadyumna, the son and daughter of Drupada. So these unusual births are there in Bhagavatam. The subject matter is very grave because this is the history of a personality who puts the whole living entity, the whole earth and its connected areas together. Because at the time of King Vena, everything was totally dilapidated. And he had to re-administer the earth in its normal sense, favorable for the living entities. Because the living entities, the earth is a resting place of this living entity for the purpose of gradual, step-by-step emancipation from material conception to spiritual conception, to reviving their original consciousness, which is part and parcel of the Absolute Lord Sri Krishna. That being the case, it is like a jail which is going out of control. Just imagine there's a jail with thousands of prisoners and the jail warden is a crazy guy and the whole jail goes berserk, right? No law and order, no divisions, no safety. And the opportunity of reviving them, opportunity of correcting them is no more there. So earth being a place, karma bhumi, a place where one can correct himself, many things can happen in earth. People come to earth either to remain in earth or to go up from earth to heavenly planet or go down to hellish planet. This is karma bhumi. This is the only place in the universe where you can recharge. Recharge facility is only in earth. You can recharge with punya or you can recharge with papa. You recharge with punya, you go to the heavenly planets. You recharge yourself with papa, you go down to hellish planets. You could remain in this earth also, or you could be totally liberated from this material world. Everything possible from this planet Earth. Hence, many great personalities sometimes come to earth for liberation. Because in heavenly planets, if you go, you may get stuck. It's a very beautiful place. I have not seen. A lot of facilities. Some descriptions you see in Puranas, in Mahabharatam, different places, heavenly planets are very, 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 very congenial for enjoyment. So much so that you can forget the purpose of existence. But there also the opportunity is given to go to the next level. Bhur, Bhuva, Suva, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. 7 planetary systems. The upper ones. Step by step one can go. And the positions of people in these different planets are different. Their abilities are different. Bhagavatam talks about all these locations and people think this is just mythology. Bhagavatam talks about different kinds of oceans in different parts of Jambudvipa. Ocean of mango juice, ocean of milk, ocean of sugarcane juice. So people say, what is all this nonsense? Well, if you can have a water of salt, why not mango juice? There's a huge mango tree, one part of Jambudvipa. Big mangoes, juicy mangoes. They keep falling and the juice keeps falling. And the juice forms rivers. Here also snow is forming, snow is falling, snow is becoming water. So we cannot explain these things and understand these things with our mind. So Vena, born out of Prithu, born out of the body of Vena by the power of the Brahmanas. So all these details, descriptions are there, which really exist, but they don't exist in Kali Yuga because of the situation. All the nidhi of impurities are there in Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga you don't find these things, so people don't believe. So King Vena was born in such circumstances for a particular purpose. And what are his qualities? His qualities are very, 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 very pleasing and absolutely what was required at the time of disorder created by Vena. So these are the qualities which we can learn and try to imbibe to whatever minimum level we can, because these are conducive for Krishna consciousness. The potential of the subtle body is there, just like there's a potential for the gross body. The gross body has a potential. You could build your physical body and be able to do many things. If you don't endeavor to build a physical body, you cannot do. You want to lift weight, you work on your muscles, then you can lift enormous weight. You want to run fast, then you practice. So the physical body can be engineered in such a way to get siddhis. Similarly, the subtle body can also be engineered, can also be worked on to get different qualities, even siddhis. But here, we don't need siddhis nor physical power. We only need good qualities. Physical power and siddhis are not going to help in Krishna consciousness. It may take us away from Krishna consciousness. So we don't have bodybuilders in Krishna consciousness. We don't have mind controllers in Krishna consciousness. These things exist. These things are acquirable, but they are not positively helping in Krishna consciousness. But acquiring good qualities, they are positive. They help in Krishna consciousness. These are the potentials available within us. But it's up to us whether we need to practice and acquire those things. Just like physically, if you want to acquire, or mentally you want to acquire, do you want to acquire good qualities? You may be born with different characters, different qualities based upon the nature acquired. That's why Prabhupada calls it acquired nature. This is not our nature, but this is a nature we acquire according to our karma, good ones, bad ones. Good personalities, bad personalities, bad habits. These are not ours. These are acquired. Acquired. The reason of acquiring these are us. And we are responsible for it. We are responsible for getting bad body, good intelligence, bad intelligence, good behavior, bad behavior, good family, bad family. These we are responsible. But they don't belong to us. They are acquired, they are put upon us. Their upadhi is put on us. So sarva upadhi vinirmuktam. Removing all these upadhis and standing aside. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. So removing the bad upadhis, but acquiring good upadhis, good characters. Considering all embodied living entities as oneself. This is one of the very basic tenets of any religion. Right? Even in other faith, one of these points is this. What is that? Treat others as you treat yourself. A very important quality, which can help a devotee. It can help a Vaishnava, right? If we acquire the quality of treating everybody just like you treat us, there is only one plate of prasadam and there are two devotees trying to aim at it. What will we do? Take it and run away. But if you want to treat others like you treat yourself, I am also hungry, he is also hungry. I know my hunger. He also will be suffering. I give it to him. How many of us will do that? That is the meaning of treating others, just like you would treat yourself. You may have good things, giving it to others. Giving others the opportunity of those things which gives you pleasure, which gives us pleasure, gives us comfort. Very great quality. How does it help in Krishna consciousness? It helps in Krishna consciousness because we can reject all the good and bad things in this material world as not part of our own self. Just like a man who has money, he gives money. He gives charity. By giving charity, he gets punya. By punya, he can elevate. Hence, charity is a very big religious activity, very pious activity. Similarly, by giving away what you could have got to others is also charity. Forced austerity. I could have enjoyed it. But I deny my enjoyment and give it to others, for others to enjoy. This is a sacrifice. Especially if the recipient of your sacrifice is an elevated person, then the benefit is more. It is said that like, if you want to give money, don't give money to people who are unqualified. Give money to people who are qualified. Qualified people are not walking the road and begging. You have to go and find them. Unqualified people are standing the road and begging. But you will want to give them. But by giving them, you become partake of the sin they would do with the money. But by giving money to people who are elevated, you will partake of the piety they would get by using the money. So hence people who donate to Krishna conscious movement, if we are pocketing it, then we go to hell. People who donate money for the Supreme Lord, we just pass it on to the Supreme Lord. So same way, good qualities, this is beneficial for Krishna consciousness, these characters. Accepting every living entity as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, seeing the comforts of other living entities. So this has a spiritual connotation and material connotation. If you only want to do charity by opening hospitals and dharmashalas and this and that for the benefit of travelers and people like that, and enjoy giving the mood of giving, then that is not spiritually elevating, nor piety. Why? Because you are giving away, but you are taking so much. I am giving 100 rupees, but I am taking 1 lakh rupee load. By giving 100 rupees in the right way, I would have been reducing my load of karma. Giving 100 rupees for a Krishna conscious activity, I reduce the load. But by giving 100 rupees to somebody and seeing that pleasure, taking the pleasure of him using it and having this Ishvara bhav, will only increase my load. So he's thinking that I am giving, but he's taking. Right? So that doesn't help. So you may also give people to become famous devotee. Oh, he is very, very kind devotee. He always gives to others. And this so-called kind devotee is enjoying the name and fame of kindness. No benefit. Not good benefit, not the real benefit. Why? Because you are giving, but you are taking. So we have to know how to give without taking. That is Krishna consciousness. Giving and also taking, it is business, vyapara. That is piety and sin. We are not here to do vyapara. When you do vyapara, you will gain. It's like business transaction, nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. Nothing spiritual about this giving. There is nothing spiritual about charity if you don't do it in the right mood. Hence, Bhagavad Gita talks about charity in the mode of goodness, charity in the mode of passion, charity in the mode of ignorance. At least we should be in the charity in the mode of goodness, if not in Krishna consciousness, to get the real benefit of charity. So people who take while giving remain on earth. People who give thinking it is Krishna's and doing it as a servant of Krishna can go back to Krishna. So the activities of this earth is very, very peculiar. Hence people think being on earth is very, very rare and very, very opportunistic. What is opportunity? Being on earth, I can go out of this material world. How I do that? I do by these activities. Because only in earth you are forced to act. Nowhere else you are forced to act. In Swarga you are not forced to act. In earth you are forced to act. It's karma bhumi. Why? By acting, I get opportunity for sacrificing. By sacrificing, I get an opportunity to go out of the material world. Or go to the heavenly planet. Go up, at least go up. Hence, this life in this earthly planet, life, especially in human form of life, is very, very auspicious. Great opportunity. Hence, learned people and great devotees are compassionate to the people in the world when they see people are not using that opportunity for elevation. That is a real compassion. Such a good asset you have, and you're not using it. That is why Krishna calls you in Bhagavad Gita, Kripanaha, my sirs. We are misers because we have the assets, but I don't use it for the benefit of myself. That is why earth is important. Because we get opportunity to enact these good qualities, acquire and enact. It is shramam, it is a lot of sacrifice to acquire these qualities. Because we have to keep on denying our acquired bad qualities. By denying the acquired bad qualities and reposing good qualities which I learned from sastras or from others and then make it my own, I get an opportunity. This is the importance of our day-to-day life. If I don't do any sacrifice today and sleep and get up tomorrow morning, today is wasted. This is what great people think. We don't think. Why for a great person, a day, 24 hours is so important for him. It's a time of investment, like you happen in Bombay Stock Exchange. 12 hours, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. We are also buying and selling karma. Right? Dalal. So this is, every day is a dalal. We are buying karma, giving karma. So if you invest in the right things, just like a dalal will do, we get profit. So if we invest our day-to-day life, every minute, every hour, in these sacrifices, good qualities, good character, Vaishnava behavior, Vaishnava etiquette, we should give importance to these things rather than the action we are doing. Yes, success in the action that we do is good. We want to offer the benefit to Krishna. But we cannot get lost in the action itself. If you are lost in the action itself, then we may not acquire things as fast as it could be acquired. So every day we should see how much sacrifice, Vaishnava quality sacrifice we are doing. And one of the biggest sacrifices is this, accepting others as dear as oneself. Very difficult to do that. But these are the qualities one should know. By always increasing the pressure of his friends. This we know how to do, but not the right way. Friendship. But we make friends for our own enjoyment. We make friends to act in a very playful manner, unserious manner, forget the difficulties of the world, talk nonsense, right? This is friendship we do. But the real friendship, that is not the friendship mentioned here. Pleasure in serving the friends. Increasing the pleasure of our friends. First of all, we should have good friends. Good circle of friends. If you have bad circle of friends, giving pleasure to them is no use. Same way, charity. You're giving money to a bad person or giving money to a good person. Increasing the pleasure of a bad person, increasing the pleasure of a good person. In short, to say, 24 hours, our action should not be for ourselves. Our action should be for something better than ourselves. And what is better than ourselves? Based upon our sukruti and our luck, we know. You may get an opportunity to serve a great devotee. That is the greatest. Or you may get an opportunity to glorify a cheater. Everything in this world cannot be taken just because it is given to us. I need to want it. And I need to want the right thing. And I need to endeavor to keep it. Otherwise it is called taking it for granted. When we take things for granted, it is useless. We didn't use it properly and it goes away. The value is gone. So this is called inner engineering. This is called inner engineering. Not bringing up your kundalini power. That is not inner engineering. Bringing out your soul power, that is inner engineering. He will intimately associate with liberated persons. And that is another opportunity. We can associate with anybody. Good association. Asantanka tyaga. You can see so many times Krishna uses this word in Bhagavad Gita. Sangatyaga. Anybody can remember any verse with this word? Sloka? No, Gita sloka I'm asking. You see this word many places in Gita. Krishna uses this, how to keep away from the entire material energy. That's okay, I'm not testing you, I'm just something somebody knows, you can talk. It's all in my mouth tip also, but I can't get it. It's all there, but we need to retrieve it when we want it. Everything is saved in the mobile phone, but when you want it, you won't get it. Right? In my computer, Prabhu. We have to have it in our memory. Okay. So, Asat Sangatyaga. Associate with right kind of people. Sabrata Maharaj was such a person who could associate with great personalities. Of course, in Kali Yuga, when the world goes into Kali Yuga, the good opportunities goes on reducing. Now we went to Prayag, right? All so-called liberated people are supposed to be there, but how many of them are liberated? Externally, you can see everybody doing a lot of austerity. So if we are fortunate, we would get good Sangha. In Prithu's time, in Satyuga, there are a lot of liberated persons. But in Kali Yuga, as the time goes more and more, and that is why it is more important that now, today, we need to associate. Not tomorrow, not next lifetime. Because as time goes, as Kali Yuga progresses, the availability of good people, availability of Vaishnavas, availability of liberated people are less. Then whom will you associate with? I can go out of this planet and associate. So today becomes very important. Satyuga is very important because everybody is available for you for using for liberation. Treta Yuga also, Dwapara Yuga also. But as in Kali Yuga, that is why Krishna told Uddhava, don't stay. Things are all going to be very bad in Kali Yuga. Then 5,000 years back, it has started. So as Kali Yuga progresses, our opportunity to associate with the right kind of people goes. So we need to use that facility today. Today whom I can associate. Associate with anybody who is better than me. A few hours, few minutes in a day. This is how we spend our day. Acquiring everything that is required for liberation. That is required for going back to Krishna. That is required to remove my anarthas and acquire my original quality of the soul. Come to the level where I can see the super soul every day. Come to a level where I am self-sufficient. This again Krishna says. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Come to the state of pure happiness. That state is pure happiness. Then associating with Krishna, serving Krishna eternally. And that is a different level of happiness which we are trying to acquire. But even before all those things, there are many things at ground to do. On the ground, what are we going to do? Yes, I'll associate with Krishna, but what do you do today? Yes, I'm chanting my 16 rounds somehow. Apart from that, because all these conscious activities that we want to do in a day helps us to chant better. Chanting is only 2 hours. But if you want to chant 2 hours properly, you should have 22 hours properly. That is why 10 offenses. Action is important for chanting also. Chant without 10 offenses. What is 10 offenses? Action. Right action. Choosing the right action. By choosing the right action, as told in the 10 points, we will be able to chant properly. And then Krishna. So there are many, sometimes we think that we are transcendentalists and we forget all the ground level action, what we need to do as devotees. So by seeing the activity of these great personalities, we can imbibe these qualities and strive our 24 hours in doing these things, acquiring these while we are doing our services. I may be going and liberating Lakshmi. I may be going and doing activities connected with high funda technology. It doesn't matter if we don't keep this in the background while doing action. Benefit is less. Finally, all the activity we do within this building is Krishna conscious. But if we consciously do it, it becomes faster vehicle for liberation. That opportunity we lose. And the last point, very important for any kind of administrators, being a chastising hand. Previously we saw that he increase the pleasure of his friends. Here we see he chastises also. By this we know what kind of friendship is talked about here. Whenever we friend, how will I tell that to him, Prabhu? We think. Right? A budding administrator, a budding leader has all these doubts. How do I chastise somebody? How do I correct somebody? If you are not able to correct somebody, then you are not the right person. Shastra say we are enjoyers. Sense enjoyers. How do you say I'm sense enjoyer? Yes. You don't want to chastise somebody because you don't want to lose your fame. You want to be a good person in the eyes of the society. So when you see wrong things done, you close your eyes. Why? If I tell, I become infamous, then all the benefits is lost. The devotee is not like that. A devotee is a spade. He has to be he is a blade. He's a talwar. Whenever he sees to be corrected, he has to correct others. If you don't correct others, it's only for your self-sense gratification. You're not doing that. Bhaktisiddhanta used to be very, very strict about this. So when we take up leadership roles, when we take up the responsibilities, higher and higher responsibility, we had to be compassionate. At the same time, we had to be chastising hand also. Because if you don't correct the un-Krishna conscious activities surrounding your friends, yourself, your people below us, we are only doing that because we are afraid. What are you afraid? Afraid of myself losing something. Afraid of losing something. So if you have to be a chastising and you have to be liberated. You have to be free from duality, good and bad, fame and infame. If I'm not free from fame and infame, I cannot chastise others. Or at least towards that direction. So chastising, it may look chastising externally, but it is very important to keep the peace in the society and to keep everything the right way. Everything will become lose-lose if the leader is not able to chastise. Danda panihi, that's why kings carry the danda in the hand. Danda means, I am your friend, but I have this also. So in our life, we need to use this. If you are a leader, if you have devotees, if you have people you are directing, then you have to be friendly. At the same time, we should know how to be chastising. Also, assertive. Chastising doesn't mean shouting around and creating a humbug. That is weakness actually. A person who chastises, he is assertive and he can chastise and correct people. And because he is friend of everybody, the person who is getting chastised also knows it is for my good. He doesn't take it in an egoistic way. So these are the characters of a person to lead in Krishna consciousness, to serve Krishna, to deal with material energies, deal with material opulences, assets, bringing everything to Krishna, keeping it. People are bringing to Krishna. Somebody has to be there to keep it also. Right? So the person who is a custodian, he has to be careful. He cannot go on material emotions. He has to go on spiritual emotions. So all these things are required. So we learn these things from the stories told in Bhagavatam of these great personalities, especially Lord's Leelas and the Leela of Shaktivesh Avatara like Prithu Maharaj. It's a very instructive chapter. Stop here. Any questions or comments? Okay. Dandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada.